Alright, calling for us. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And top box. Oh, it goes to. I think it went to the guy out wide.
Yeah, it did. If it went to Matthew, I would have called for it. Like, I would have got it.
Oh.
Okay, they're making up for it.
Oh, that was sick.
Okay, best play I've ever seen.
They're pressing. Press is
Play
initiated.
back because the 75th is hitting right now. With that boost right on time.
Oh, it's perfect. Oh, beautiful. There's another clip. Let's go. Them pressing, it's working.
Yeah.
And the counter-attack is on. Options available.
Gosh, they're so cold.
Plant your feet.
The finishers.
Decent position.
Ooh.
Can they forge ahead?
Go, right foot. I was a little scared because this build's lefty, but let's go. 4-star weak foot, still works.
Could cross it in here.
Oh. Doesn't want any of that, no. Oh yeah, I'm watching
Go for it.
finish it.
Oh, that would be sick. No, you did it.
That's the spot.
Just went for a meaningless freestyle on the guy and then long shot, curler. Yo, what is happening, guys? This is Lesky, and we're going to be continuing this pro player build series for FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. And in this video, we're going to be going over Jose Maria Gutierrez Hernandez, most commonly known as Guti. He played for Real Madrid basically his whole career, and I think like his last 2 seasons as a professional player. He played in Turkey. He didn't have too many appearances for Spain. I think it was like 13 appearances. But he's pretty much a legendary Real Madrid player, and he's most known for his playmaking ability, his vision, and his fancy passes, which actually translates pretty well into pro clubs. Because once we get to the perks, you'll see we have all the playmaking perks for this build. This is basically a playmaker specialist cam build based on Guti. And it's really nice to just do fancy passes. And fancy passes are very good pretty much every year in FIFA. You can really throw off the other team, the defense, and it works very well. And I actually got some nice clips with backheel passes and fancy passes and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Guti cam build that I have made for us. And honestly, it's probably the best passing build that I have used this year in pro clubs. We have a good amount of skill points on the passing page. And again, like I said, we have all 3 of those passing perks, which give you the flair trait. So basically every single pass you make, you can do some fancy passes, which is kind of what he's known for. And it's just really fun pulling off some nice fancy passes in game. So looking at the height and weight for this Guti build, he's listed as 6 foot on the sites that I looked at. And for the weight, we went 149. He was never very stocky or had a big body. So I feel like 149 fit him pretty well. You could also go 119. You might have a little bit more agility, but I think you'll lose a decent amount of shot power, which either way, as for cams, even if you're like 6 foot, the shot power is still pretty weak unless you like focus on upgrading the shot power. But mostly for this build, we focused on the dribbling and just the playmaking ability, the passing. And I believe he's listed as left foot, so for this build, we are lefty, we're not righty. And then now let's move on to the perks for this Guti build. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we have all 3 of the playmaking perks. And honestly, the one that you could switch out if you want to add something else would be the crossing one, because this is a cam build, so you might not come into like situations where you're going to be crossing the ball too much. And when I used it, I don't think I really got an assist off a cross anyways, but it will help enhance your crossing ability. And I guess it's harder to do like flare passes and fancy passes when it comes to crosses. Like you might be able to do like a Rabona cross or like a scoop cross or something like that. But I guess it's a little bit harder to pull off fancy crosses. But with the other 2, like especially the precision pass, it's very nice doing fancy passes. And the threaded pass, the through balls, the wide through balls or the triangle through balls on PlayStation, it'll enhance that and even improve the vision, which is very nice. And then of course it gives you 5-star weak foot for all these passing perks. So basically every single pass you're gonna make with this build, even when it's crosses, you'll have a 5-star weak foot. We have a 4-star weak foot on this build, but with every single pass you make, you'll have a 5-star weak foot. So you won't have to worry about that. The only thing you'll really have to worry about is like when you're shooting. You'll want it on your left foot for the most part, even though I did score a goal with the weak foot, which is not too bad. 4-star weak foot is still very usable. But like if you wanted to switch out the pinpoint cross and you think you're not going to be crossing too much as a cam with this build, what I would suggest putting on is probably Distant Shooter. That's one of the best perks in the game, especially if you're a cam. You might find yourself outside the box a lot and have a lot of long shot attempts. And especially since the shot power on cam builds just isn't very good to start with, it's kind of hard scoring long shots. Even if you have the good long shots on the skill tree, with the low shot power, it's hard to actually make long shots. So the Distant Shooter will increase your shot power and make your long shots better, while also giving you the finesse shot, outside foot shot, and then you won't have to worry about your weak foot when you're taking an outside shot. So if you don't want the pinpoint cross, I would definitely go Distant Shooter, but that's the only one I would really switch out. I guess you could go Active First Touch or Skill Dribbler, preferably Skill Dribbler, but I don't know. I feel like Distant Shooter would be best, and then I just clicked out of that. But the other two, Precision Pass and Threaded Pass, you're definitely going to want. And the passing ability, like I said, is amazing for this Guti build. One of the best I've used in Pro Clubs so far. So now let's move on to the skill tree. Starting with the physical page for this Guti build, what we did was kind of just focused on upgrading the stamina a bit. So we got this first strength right here, and then we got this +3 stamina for 2 skill points. And then at the top right, we're going to get this other stamina. And then I just decided to use 2 skill points to get +4 reactions to get our reactions up a bit more to 86. Because honestly, it makes a bit of a difference. You might not notice it like all the time, but your guy will react a little bit quicker in certain situations when the ball's bounced around, or when you're dribbling, your guy will make like automatic animations to try and keep the ball or hop over a slide tackle, whatever it may be. So reactions are actually low-key very good, and I think it's a very underrated stat to upgrade on the physical page. And he wasn't really known for like his physical prowess or ability, so we didn't really focus on like upgrading the jumping or the aggression or strength. We could have possibly got the Acrobat Archetype, but I don't know. It's just a lot of skill points, and we kind of need to put more skill points to the dribbling and the passing page. But I guess if you don't want the pinpoint cross or you don't want the Distant Shooter, since we only have 79 stamina on this build, running Tireless Runner as the third perk would actually be pretty good, just because you get that boost in the 75th minute of the match to give you more stamina. So I think that would actually be a really good option if you don't want the pinpoint cross or the Distant Shooter. You could definitely do that. Now let's head on over to the dribbling page. We don't have anything on defending for this cam build. It's kind of a waste of skill points to do that. So I decided to go for 5-star skills. Y'all don't have to go for 5-star skills. You can go for 4-star. If you don't use the 5-star skills, don't go for them then. What I would do is just take this one off. I guess you could take this one off as well. It doesn't really matter. And then you have 5 skill points to work with. And honestly, I would either put that on upgrading the passing even more or the shooting. And I think we have like one thing on the pace page that we could possibly add, which would only be 3 skill points. So you could do that, and then you would have like 2 skill points elsewhere. I guess you could put it on this balance too, or upgrade the dribbling even more would actually be pretty good if you don't want the 5-star skills. But I'm a big fan of 5-star skills, especially as a cam build. They're very important for me. I like to utilize the 5-star skills because I just think they're extremely overpowered. So that's what I go for. And then on this dribbling page, like at the top left, we went for this balance that only costs 1 skill point for +2 balance, so might as well get it. And then we're going to get this other ball control stuff right here. And then on the right side, we basically go for the Lynx archetype like I usually do in my builds, just because of how important agility and balance are, especially agility. And then, of course, the other skill moves. But like I said, you could take off the skills and get it and put it on anything else you'd like. Dribbling, balance, or once we go to the passing, shooting, or pace page, you could add it there as well. So that's it for the dribbling. Even though the dribbling stats don't look amazing, we have 87 dribbling, 89 ball control, only 87 agility. Honestly, it felt pretty nice, but I like to use 5-star skills, which honestly, even if your guy doesn't have crazy agility, it basically makes your dude have more agility when you do certain 5-star skills, just because of how quick they are and how just overpowered they are, honestly. So yeah, if you utilize 5-star skills, this build will feel even better when it comes to dribbling compared to actually what it says. So now to the passing page, which is what he's known for. So we had to go for a good amount of passing upgrades on top of the passing perks. Remember, we have those passing perks, so it's actually going to upgrade the passing ability even more than actually what it says right here. So what we did, we didn't like touch any of this left side. It's basically just upgrading vision and crossing. The 83 crossing is pretty good, and since we already have the crossing perk on, it's going to upgrade it even more. So we decided not to touch that and waste skill points on that. But what we did, I'm just going to reset this. On this right side, we get this short pass. You're going to get this long pass right here, +4 long pass for 2 skill points. Then go back to the left, get this other short pass, this vision, and then we're going to go back to the right and get this long passing and vision right here. It'll be +2 vision, +3 long pass for 3 skill points. And then I haven't done this on very many builds. Maybe this is like my second build, possibly third build that I've actually had the archetype on a build. And this will give you +6 long pass and +5 short pass for 10 skill points, which will really boost the passing ability. 91 long pass and 91 short pass. They're actually balanced perfectly, which is quite nice. And the one thing I guess that we could upgrade is the vision. I would definitely not go for this one because it's 3 skill points for +2 vision, when you could just get this one for the same amount of skill points for +2 vision also, and +3 short pass on top of that. So if you wanted to use, if you're not going for the skill moves, you could take that off and put some of the points for the passing, and increasing the vision even more. But looking at the passing ability, it's actually absolutely phenomenal. The one thing I guess I would want a little bit more of is the vision. If we could get like 90 vision, that would be awesome. But remember, the threaded pass, or whatever it is, the through ball perk, actually increases the vision, which helps for wide through balls or triangle through balls on PlayStation. So keep that in mind. And remember, we have the 5-star weak foot on every single pass we make when we have all 3 of the passing perks. So you don't have to worry about that. And the passing ability is just really good. And you can set your teammates up with some good chances and get a lot of assists with this build, because you're definitely going to be focusing on just playmaking and not going to be scoring too much with this build. Even though you definitely can, you're mostly going to be getting assists. So if you're the type of guy that likes to play make rather than score, you'll definitely like this build. So on to the shooting page. Similar to a lot of my builds, we only have the first 6 things right here on this right side, and then the 4-star weak foot, just because it's really good value. Like, this is only 1 skill point for +2 finishing, 2 skill points for +3 finishing and +3 volleys, 3 skill points for +3 finishing and +3 volleys again, and then long shots increase for +2 for 1 skill point, and then only 2 skill points, and you get +2 shot power and +3 long shots here. So like I said, it's just very good value to get all 6 of these things. So if you're not getting these, it's kind of stupid in my opinion, because they're just so cheap. You might as well throw some skill points on there and increase your finishing ability and shot power and all that stuff. And this other one, for only 3 skill points, gives you +4 long shots and +2 shot power. And like I said earlier in the video, cams just have very bad shot power to start with. We only have 70. And then we got this the 4-star weak foot for 5 skill points. So if y'all wanted to increase the shot power a bit more, I guess if you're not going for the skill moves, you could possibly, another alternative would be to increase this free kick actually and get 73 shot power for only 3 skill points. And then this would be 6 total. If you could somehow squeeze another skill point in there, I don't know if it would be possible. You could upgrade the shot power even more with this one and get 76 shot power. But that's like the one reason I would possibly consider putting distant shooter on when it comes to long shots, because it's going to be hard to make long shots. Even though we have 89 long shots, the shot power is just not it. So just keep that in mind when you're taking shots with this build. And now let's move on to pace, which will be the last section. And I think I said earlier in the video that we left one thing off on the pace page. He wasn't known for his speed, but this is Pro Clubs. It's a video game. Got to put some pace to actually make this build respectable and more usable. Honestly, feel free if you don't want all this pace, like you don't need it. If you feel like you don't need it, I would suggest taking off the sprint speed. Even though the acceleration is higher, I just think acceleration is way more important, especially for a cam. You could argue that strikers or like maybe center mids, sprint speed is more important, but in my opinion, acceleration is more important on almost every single build, or maybe like a center back sprint speed might be more important. But especially for a cam, I think acceleration is a lot better. Like you could even take off this sprint speed and just rock 85 sprint speed. I don't know about the 83. That might be a little tough getting in behind. But yeah, that's some alternatives. And if you wanted to take off the acceleration and really just rock lower pace and increase like the shooting, passing, or dribbling even more, you could do that. But I think the way I have it is pretty nice. And the build is pretty well rounded, focusing mostly on passing and dribbling. Even though I don't think the heading is very good. Yeah, I don't know. The heading is horrible. 55 heading. I don't know why they make heading accuracy so bad for cams and center mids. Very strange to me. No one should have 55 heading accuracy in pro clubs. But like winning 50-50s, like balls that pop up top of the box or like outside of your defensive box or just in the middle of the field, like off of goal kicks, even though your jumping is not very good, you're 6 foot and you're taller than pretty much a lot of the players you're going to be playing against that are trying to guard you. And you're even taller than some of the computer players. Like a lot of them start at like 5'11". I think like strikers are like 5'8". Wingers are like 5'5" or something like that. And then center backs are like 6'3", obviously. But you can still win headers on those 50-50 situations, which can help your teammates, help your team keep possession of the ball in certain situations like that, and maybe it'll lead to a goal. I know when I use smaller builds, like 5'4" builds, the main problem that I have with them is not being able to win those 50-50 balls and keep possession for our team. But as a 6-foot cam, you can actually get some headers and knock the ball down to your team just to keep possession. So that's definitely one benefit of being a taller cam, a 6-foot cam. I don't think I've ever used a cam that's 6 foot or taller this year in pro clubs. The tallest I've used a cam is 5'10" and shorter. But I mean, most of the people that you're going to play against don't really have taller cam builds either, just because smaller cams are quicker and better dribbling mainly. But that is definitely a benefit of being a 6-foot cam. And that's going to wrap it up for this Guti build. A player that is known for his crazy vision, his insane playmaking, and his fancy flicks, fancy passes, whatever you want to call it. So if you like doing a lot of that stuff in pro clubs, you should definitely give this build a try and let me know how you like it in the comments. And if you could leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button for me, I would greatly appreciate that. Gonna try and get to all you guys build requests that y'all have. It's a lot of them, so definitely be patient with me, but I'm gonna try and get to as many as I possibly can. So stay tuned to the channel. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.
Oh, lovely ball.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm flicking it.
Is it going to
Shoot it. Oh shoot. Oh, let's go. That was dirty. I did a bike pass.
But a good piece of defending to bring it to an end.
Find that one on the ground.
Lovely ball. And he's in the clear.
He moved it for. Oh.
The net is
What? Did a fake shot and then flick a bro over him. That was nasty.